Hi, Professor. So today I'm going to be talking about climate change, its effects on the weather, the environment, and us, how we have aided in fueling these changes, and how we can stop these changes from happening anymore. So imagine you're in Texas, you've just woken up, and you're preparing your morning coffee. You want to enjoy it on the porch as you normally do. So you go to your door and you're immediately hit with freezing cold air and you're witnessing snowfall from the sky. This is strange as Texas doesn't experience snow, nor do they experience weather cold enough for snow. This is one of many extreme weather events that have recently taken place on Earth around the world due to the effects of climate change and global warming. Now, you might just say that it's weather and it happens sometimes, but I'm here to tell you that it's not just weather, and that if nothing is done about it, we will all be a part of the sixth known extinction of living things on this planet. These are some events that have occurred in the past 4 years. Hurricane Harvey, an intense hurricane that's taken place. Extreme heat waves and fires in California. They have taken place just as early as January of this year. Heat waves in Japan have killed more than 160 people in 2019, and the extreme snow in Texas, what I just talked about. So now let me explain the difference between weather and climate. Weather is the changes in the air that we experience on a day-to-day basis. It's predictable and fairly consistent in each of the 4 seasons depending on where you are. Some days it's cold and rainy, hot and sunny, or rainy and hot. It changes depending on the area of the world you're in as well. Like right now, New Zealand is getting ready for their winter season, but New York is getting ready for their summer season, or the US as a whole. Climate is usually the specific stereotypical weather of that area or place. Like stated earlier, imagining Texas, you immediately thought of a hot, warmer, drier place because that is the climate associated with that state, even in its winter, end of winter, beginning of spring phases. Now, taking this information, climate change is a change in that place's usual climate, hence the name. This could be a change in the place's usual climate for that month, or for that season, or for that year or day. This usually determines how cold or hot a place may get, if it may snow, rain, sleet, or hail. Earth's climate as a whole is Earth's climate as a whole planet is changing. The Earth is rapidly warming up due to human activity. According to the research of ongoing temperature analysis conducted by NASA scientists at Goddard's Institute of Space Studies, the average global temperature of Earth has increased by more than 2 degrees Fahrenheit. This may sound like nothing, but it has fueled and led to the shrinking of glaciers in Antarctica and the melting of ice sheets and caps, sea levels rising, oceans warming, and the extreme weather that we are experiencing around the world. All of this is occurring because of human activity and error. The emissions of greenhouse gases have set up a cause and effect scenario on Earth. These gases are trapping heat in our atmosphere and in turn forcing climate change. Carbon dioxide is an important element in our atmosphere, but too much of it is a bad thing, as we are experiencing. The burning of fossil fuel contributes heavily to the emission of this gas. Our atmosphere concentration of CO2 has increased by 47% since the start of the Industrial Revolution. Methane is another huge contributor and is far more active in our atmosphere than CO2. Through the actions of dumping waste in landfills and killing and eating domestic livestock, we have produced a ton of methane gas that shouldn't be in the atmosphere. Nitrogenous oxide is a powerful greenhouse gas produced through the overuse of fossil fuels, burning of fossil fuels like coal, and the biomass burning. All these gases have been out of balance since the industrial activities that we now rely on as civilizations have taken place. And due to this, we are reaping the consequences of our actions. Extreme weather events are something that have been happening all over the world. Hurricanes are getting stronger, dry and hot places are experiencing more droughts and wildfires, and animals are losing their homes, like in Antarctica. The ice is melting quicker than it should be, and scientists even predict that very soon there will be no ice at all in Antarctica. It has gotten so bad that scientists have now warned us that we have about 7 years to put our minds and hearts together and come and unite as one to try and reverse the effects of climate change. In late 2020, a 62-foot wide electronic clock was set up in Manhattan, and it began to display the crucial window of time that we have before the effects of global warming cannot be reversed or undone. It started at 7 years. It started at 7 years, 103 days, 15 hours, 40 minutes, and 7 seconds. It is now at 6 years, 235 days, 9 hours, and 12 minutes. This all may seem scary and impossible to try and reverse because you might be thinking of it as, oh, if I do something, nobody else might do anything, so my efforts are meaningless. But they're not. As long as you are trying your best, you will impact the change. Together, we can get the job done, and we can secure a future for other generations to come. There are dozens of effective and easy ways in which we as people can come together and do something. Speaking up is for starters like me and countless of others that are doing so. Greta Thunberg is now an 18-year-old activist who first appeared in the headlines at 16 years old to proclaim, educate, and plead with the higher-ups, the world leaders, that they need to take action to try and combat climate change. They need to take it seriously, and we need to do something as soon as possible so that, like her, me, and countless of younger people can have a future. Another way that we can both effectively and lessen the cost of the things that we pay for now is by buying energy efficient appliances. So solar panels, um, TVs, refrigerators, windows even. All these and more are energy efficient appliances that we can use to try and lessen the energy and emission that we already waste in our environment. All of this can help. The biggest one that were taught as kids is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. So we reduce the waste that we consume and waste, re- reuse things, and recycle to aid in the continuation of the 3 R's in the process. All it takes is you and your community to help things change and go in the direction that our planet is going. We really need to start. It doesn't take millions of dollars. The change starts in your home. Thank you.